A legend here.
Why is my background all blurry on Skype? I haven't used Skype in so long.
We usually don't even use the video because Lee
'cause
doesn't
I
have a
don't
camera.
it.
I think because it's focusing on you. Yeah, that looks exactly like what it's doing.
That's a
In the butt.
Snapchat filter.
Yeah. What the fuck was I just... This. Where did that go? Why is the internet hard? There we go.
Got to be smarter than your equipment, my man.
Blur my background. Boom. Unblurred. I'm a champion. I'm better than Matt already.
Yeah,
It did not take much.
Yeah, that's not fucking hard, man.
Yeah, low expectations. You've exceeded them.
I figured out what links are the other day.
Yeah, what were we doing where I showed you? Oh, we were looking at fucking Mythic spoilers.
Yeah, I
And you
didn't know
noticed
that you
that
touched
They
the
had
top
the
of
mana
it.
symbols and like the creature symbol, the artifact thing, and you scrolled over one and it flashed, and you were like shocked. You're like, holy fuck, what's going on here?
Yeah, I
Like,
definitely didn't
And
expect
if you
it.
click on it, it shows you that color or that card type. He was taken aback.
We
Yeah,
do
I'm
have
good
a
with
rule. We do have a rule on our podcast, Cory, that we're not allowed to swear. So
Yeah, this is a PG. No, you get one swear per episode, PG-13.
that got instantaneous and simultaneous laughs.
Okay, I'm only going to make one 9/11 joke, and then
Yeah.
that'll be
Oh, no, 9/11 jokes are cool as long as you don't swear while telling them.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. If you say fucking 9/11, then you get one of those.
Okay.
You're done.
Well, it'll have to be a good one. I'll make it count.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I guess we can start this.
Well, fucking go. What are you doing?
Well, I'm fucking waiting for you to stop talking, cocksucker.
But if I don't stop talking, does that mean you're just gonna sit there and wait all night?
No.
'Cause I can talk forever. I could just go on and on and on.
Oh my god, you're the fucking worst person I've ever met in my entire life.
Go ahead.
All right.
Bye. What are you doing?
Fucking cocksucker! Okay, that'll be the intro then.
Go ahead. That was a good one.
God. What's up, you human trash cans? Welcome back to another episode of the Fetch and Shock podcast. I'm your host, Thalia's secret lover, Tyler. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, a Kurt Ape in a human suit, Matt. And on this episode, we have a special, esteemed guest, the +1 ability on Nissa Vital Force, Cory. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Hell
What's
yeah.
going on, man?
Glad to have you.
I'm not gonna lie. Thalia's secret lover. It made me
It's like
chuckle.
that
Good one. That was a good one.
That's bad. I don't even know if it's a secret lover anymore. I think everybody knows my love for her and everything about her.
It's better when I don't know them because it's fucking hilarious, and I'll just I'll start laughing.
Because your reactions are just better than you knowing what's going to happen.
It really is. So yeah, as you just said, Cory's with us today, which is kind of cool.
Hell yeah. He's the first guest for the podcast and probably last because nobody else is going to want to come on after they hear what we put him through.
And also,
Probably.
I mean, you guys probably aren't even going to last that many more episodes, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this is
probably
just
not.
kind of a garbage podcast.
Well, my thought is that this one is going to be episode 10 to celebrate our 10th anniversary. And then episode 11 is going to be our send-off episode.
Right on. So
Yeah,
this will be
just-
like the after school special, and then the next one will be the clip show and the goodbye.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think once we hit double
Roll-
digits, we've exceeded
the
our
fucking-
expectations. We're done after that.
Roll the credits.
I think Jason Alt says if you can make it past 10 episodes, you're officially a podcast.
Oh, so we're not even a real podcast yet, Matt. We should probably quit before we get to that. So then we have no expectations.
Yeah, because once you hit 11, you're probably just going to sell out. That's what everybody else does.
That's the plan. We had a conversation earlier this week, Matt, about selling out.
That's funny, yeah.
Channel
I won't show
Fireball, here
myself
we
to
come.
Anybody.
I'd probably tell them to eat fucking dicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what? Yeah. What if Channel Fireball come knocked at your door, Matt? They drive to New York and they knock on your door and they say, Matt, your podcast is so mediocre that we want you to plug the Channel Fireball, the heavy hitters of the Magic for content producing community, and you guys.
I'd say,
What if LSV just brings himself and 6 burritos to your house and eats all 6 burritos right in front of your face?
Well, if
and
he does
asks you
that, then
apart?
I'd probably have to say yes. If LSV came and just instead of chugging a beer in my face, just fucking house 6
just embarrass
burritos,
you in front of your family, kicks your dogs, kisses your wife.
I would
I mean, you
allow
probably have to blow him after that.
it. Yeah,
You're almost guaranteed.
it'd be weird if I didn't, right?
I mean, that's just courtesy. When he's a guest in your house, he's got to make himself at home.
He'd probably be making weird blow puns, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, this is already pretty solidly derailed.
Yeah,
Great.
that sounds about right.
Well, Cory, I kind of want to hear about your backstory with Magic, because we met just through the fact that Fetch and Shock became a fucking useless thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys did that giveaway for the Prismatic Vista, and I figured that you're a new podcast. Not that many people are going to retweet it, so I have a better chance to win it. I ended up winning it, and I was like, well, I guess I'll give these guys a listen. And yeah, that's how we came to be. But I have a Magic podcast called If Lands Could Kill. We are kind of on a somewhat hiatus right this second, but we started podcasting, I want to say 2014, 2015, something like that. It was just me and three of my other longtime childhood friends. We had just started playing Magic during Gatecrash. So, relatively new to Magic.
Fuck yeah. So you guys are like relatively recent to the game.
Yeah, that's like
right, just maybe a year after I started. So we started around the same time.
Right, you started during Innistrad, correct?
Correct.
Nice.
Best set ever.
And, like we were talking about before the cast, we heard the Heavy Meta podcast. And if you're not familiar with them, they're kind of a bunch of idiots who drink and talk about Magic. But Magic is kind of secondary to what they do. And I enjoyed it so much. I mean, that was really my first time listening to any podcast ever. So I was like, fuck, if they could do it, we could do it. And we just started recording. We had this shitty little handheld recorder like in fucking Home Alone 2. And we just set it in the middle of the table and just started talking. And there was no like external, memory or micro USB or anything. So I'd have to like plug it into my computer and then like hit play and then hit record on my audio program. Like it's totally like
that's fucking awesome. That's
white trash, old school mixtape type of stuff.
Yeah, that's a stretch. I'll give you that one.
No, that's awesome. I love that.
And then we finally got money and a board and microphones and all that stuff. So
and did the real deal.
Yeah.
I am genuinely curious to know how many fucking podcasts were birthed from Heavy Meta. It has to be so many.
Or Heavy Meta type podcasts where people are just fucking being idiots.
Because they were the guys to me when I started, like you said, when you started getting into Magic podcasts, they were the dudes like over at Limited Resources and they're doing their thing and they're high level players. I'm like, oh, well, I definitely can't fucking do that because I'm a fucking moron. And then there's other people doing these crazy fucking podcasts. And then you stumble upon these schmucks and they're just random guys just getting drunk and talking about Magic. And it's like a secondary thing where they're mostly just bullshitting and they're talking about hockey or they're talking about some other garbage. And then like sometimes they'll throw in a Magic thing here and there.
Just fucking refer to hockey as garbage.
I mean, when you're listening to a fucking Magic podcast and then people start talking about the Jersey Devils, like that's kind of fucking not.
That is trash.
But that was the best part.
Not just randomly talking about hockey, but the Jersey Devils.
Like if I want to talk, if you're a Devils fan, you can fuck off. Podcast, I would listen to a hockey podcast. I don't know why I would want to do that, but I'm sure if I wanted to, it'd be there.
Yeah, one of the main themes between your guys' podcast, my podcast, and Heavy Meta is that people like it because they feel like they're just hanging out with us as we're bullshitting. They feel like we're friends, like they're hanging out in the stinky garage or whatever and just shooting the shit.
Yeah, and
you kind of got a behind the scenes of how shit goes down with us.
It gave me flashbacks.
Yeah,
like Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah,
did we give you PTSD from that?
Yeah. I don't know if I can record another episode of If Lands Could Kill anytime soon. I need to go see my therapist.
Yeah, you'll be just hiding underneath your desk.
Yeah, smoking some crack, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Oh, that's great.
Snorting crack's the way to go these days. That's what all the cool kids are doing.
That's when you moved to New York, you started snorting crack.
Cheaper.
So I guess since you do the podcast, how did you meet the people that you did your podcast with? Did you like grow up? Did you all learn playing Magic together? You said you started in Gatecrash. Did you guys all start around the same time?
Yeah, we all started at Gatecrash. I bought, to go back, we all met each other at different periods. Like one of the original hosts, our older brothers are best friends, so we've known each other our whole lives. Two of the other guys met during high school, and we all kind of fell in the same like drinking, hanging out group. and we've just been friends ever since. And as for starting to play Magic, we were all starting to get girlfriends, wives, jobs, all that stuff, and we found we didn't have enough time to like hang out. So we designated Monday nights as the time for us to meet up and hang out and play games. So we first started playing Risk Legacy. It's a version of Risk where like you alter the board and it changes and all this fun stuff. One of the best board games I've ever played. And then once we finished that, I was like, hey, I always wanted to learn how to play Magic. You know, some neighbor kid tried to teach me when I was like 8, and I was an idiot and didn't know how to do it. So he got frustrated and gave up. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. I went to my LGS, grabbed the Demir intro deck, and just started playing, going to the shop, feeling like a fucking outcast. Because, like, you know, whatever image I had of myself, whether I thought I was the cool kid or whatever, like, when you walk into a LGS, like, it's their world. You know?
Oh, yeah, you're stepping into their fucking cage.
Exactly. So I'm just all like, oh, hey, I want to try and learn how to play. And, you know, the owner was really cool. I started playing Duels of the Planeswalker. I think it was 2013.
Oh, fuck, I forgot that game existed.
I think that's such a big thing if you go to an LGS and the owner is you're just going to hate Magic and hate the experience. But if they're cool and the people are cool, you're going to have a wildly different experience, and you're going to come out either loving or hating it just based off of that.
Well, that was a weird thing too, because when I started playing and I went to the first LGS, I went to Snake Eyes in Altoona. Matt, you'll know where that is.
Yeah, and Snake Eyes.
Yeah, Snake Eyes, Altoona, Pennsylvania. And I went there, and the owner, it was a game store, and they just also sold Magic shit. And it was a lot less of the owner doing shit and a lot more of the play group that was there, whether it be like the Constructed Kids or the Commander Nerds or whatever was going on at that time. And I went there just having a cobbled together version of whatever the fuck standard was at the time. And the people there were super welcoming and super inviting. If I would have went there and those guys would have been dicks, that'd have been fucking game over for me. I probably would not have continued playing Magic, or at least continue playing Magic competitively at that point.
Well, yeah, I've moved around a good bit, and I've gone to game shops where people are assholes, and I said, fuck that, I'm not going back there. Like, and not even like them being like rude. They're just weird as fuck, and they're not welcoming. They have their like little tiny weird cliques. But then I go somewhere like Nice Guys, I'll plug them all fucking day. Ron's one of the coolest dudes ever. I'll go in there and I'll talk to him.
That big bearded, beautiful man.
Yeah, like I'll talk to him about vintage forever. Like,
yeah,
he loves brewing vintage stuff. The last vintage thing he had there, I sat there for like an hour, and he was supposed to be closing. He's like, "Nah, we're good. Like, we'll sit here and bullshit for a bit."
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, that's
just
so cool.
A massive fucking
and just
variation
the fact that,
in places.
The fact that you have that environment is like fucking crucial, I think. But Cory, you said that you guys all just like got together to start playing just for a reason to get together. That's almost exactly how I fucking started. Because Matt, you started when you were like a fucking infant child. You were like, what, a year and a half old when you started playing Magic?
Probably like 7 months.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, Cory, if we go off on a tangent, you can just say fuck off and just kind of either jump in or steer us right.
Reach through the screen, grab Matt, and punch him in the face.
I absolutely feel at home already, so I will jump in. I've already taken my pants off. We're good to go.
Oh, well, I've already had my pants off since the beginning.
What are pants?
Oh, yeah, you get to work from home, Matt. So you're just like, you're just perpetually in your underwear or naked.
Yeah, I don't know what pants are.
He calls underwear pants.
Yeah.
No, underwear or his dress pants. That's what he wears for nice Sunday day.
No, I wear the whitey tighties that don't have the poo stain on them.
You hang dick on Sundays. That's the Lord's Day. But okay, back to the conversation.
Yeah, we're not talking about Magic today. We're just gonna go off.
Well, Matt, you started when you were a fucking child. I started playing Magic when I would think it was like 21. So instead of going to bars, I went over to my buddy's place, and everybody was sitting at a fucking table playing Magic. And at first I was like, you guys are fucking losers. Why are we not out talking to girls and doing things? And then they were like, no, but seriously, try it. And I tried, and I was like, oh, fuck. This is way cooler than talking to girls.
You got me.
I'm hooked.
Oh yeah, that was definitely me to the rest of my friends because I had been into it for a couple weeks before I brought it to them, and so I already had the intro deck. The shop had given me some shitty commons and uncommons to help build my deck, and I had gotten sleeves. And so when I showed my friends, the future co-hosts, I showed them the cards, and they're like, "Sleeves, dude? What kind of nerd are you?"
These are to protect my investment.
Exactly. I'm trying to explain to them, and they're like, "Whatever, dude." And then they go buy intro decks, and within the month, we're all spending like hundreds of dollars on Magic cards.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really fucking quick downhill slope when you start, and you're like, "Oh shit, this is a real deal thing." And then the next week, you're like, "Oh, I need to buy this," and you just have a pile. And the worst part is, when you first start playing, you want to buy all these fucking cards, and you have no idea what anything does. So you're spending all this money on fucking garbage.
Oh, absolutely. I remember one of my buddies, he had bought whatever deck was in standard that had Domri Raid, I think.
Yes.
Later on, it had turned into like the red-green monsters when Theros hit. And, he spent like $150 on it. And I spent like $30 on some shitty little discard rats deck that had, that one enchantment that's basically like the rack, kind of.
Oh, Shrieking Affliction.
Yeah, and that was just the point of the whole deck. And I remember beating him with that deck multiple times, and the feeling of pride swelling up that like my piece of shit little rat deck beat your $150. Yeah, it was just.
That feels so good.
I think about it at night when I touch myself.
Yeah, perfect. And I love how that those early interactions with Magic is what sets you up for failure for the rest of your fucking Magic career. I remember playing against one of my friends, and he had fucking Spreading Seas in his deck. And I still, to this day, have not hated a card more than I hate fucking Spreading Seas. What a miserable fucking card. Every time I see that pop up in a blue-white control list in Modern, I want to find that person, drive to their house, and piss on them. Because I fucking hate that card.
That is a bit haste.
Listen, have you ever seen Spreading Seas, Matt? Do you know what that card does?
Yeah, it's glorious.
Fuck you. Yeah, I want to drive to your house and piss on you now.
Fuck your lands, bro. Unless they're islands.
They're trying to make my basic plains and islands. That is a fucking funny criminal offense. Funny. That is punishable by death. How dare they touch my basic plane? Well, so we got your backstory on how you got started playing Magic. How do you play Magic now that you're older, wiser, maybe, probably not, but at least older and now more entrenched in Magic?
So, when we first started playing, we were all about standard. That's usually the jumping off point for a lot of people.
Hell yeah.
And then, much like others, after a couple seasons of standard, it starts to wear a little thin, trying to keep up with the meta, trying to keep up with the prices, just keeping up with it all. We started getting into Commander, still kind of brewing standard kind of on the side, not really going to too many events. Like in the beginning, we'd go to PTQs and FNMs and, all the like. And then we just started getting a little bit more casual. And currently, I play my standard on MTG Arena just because of being able to jump on, play a game, not spend too much money, and not worry about my cards rotating out. Because I used to play a lot of MTGO. And, it's a bummer when you have to spend all this money on standard cards and then they rotate out. And, it's just the feel bads.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's such a pain in the ass.
Literally the worst feeling.
That was the big thing when I started playing. I jumped in, and like you said, that's the jump up point to standard. So I had a standard deck. I remember when I really got into standard and broke away from the casual formats that we were playing at the kitchen table, it was that Barrow standard with the red-green monsters deck. Because I played mono blue devotion and mono black devotion, and both of those fucking decks were
mono blue devotion.
Devotion's just the best fucking mechanic ever printed. I love it.
So that's what I have PTSD about, is those monocolored decks from Theros Standard that, I was all into watching coverage and, like I said, playing at local shops and just seeing and playing against mono blue and mono black. It was just so much part of the high tier meta. and especially on coverage, watching like mono blue versus mono blue, like
That finals in that Pro Tour was a
Yeah,
mono
that seems
blue
miserable.
mirror, and we had to
Yeah.
watch 5 games of that, and it was fucking awful.
yeah, I couldn't get my dick hard after that. It was just like I had erectile
You're done.
dysfunction.
Yeah.
No, that was my fucking format. I loved that. But then after that rotated out, I was like, oh, all these cards are useless. Fuck.
Yeah, and around the time we started playing was the Modern Pro Tour in San Diego, which is where I'm from. And so we were aware of like Modern as a format, but when you're new, like something like that is so daunting. You don't know the card pool. You don't know what's good, and everything costs $1 million. So we kind of set that aside, but always moving towards building a deck. I finally finished all my pieces of 8-rack, like just not that long ago. I had the main deck done, but I finally got the sideboard finished. And it's kind of one of those things like, yeah, it's not the best deck in the format, but I know how to play the deck. I know what it's good against. I know my outs, and it's fun for me to play.
That actually really fucking matters in Modern.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Modern is that it's such a wide open fucking format all the time, except for when Hogak exists or some bullshit
Hodor
like that.
This fucking thing.
Yeah, fuck that card. God damn it. Fuck that goddamn deck. But most of the time, you can take your fucking 8-rack deck into a field where there's a bunch of fucking Is It Phoenix and there's a bunch of other fucking garbage, and you can still win games if you know how to fucking play your deck.
Yeah, if you know the matchups and everything.
And that's what I've heard from a lot of like the pros or the people, the content creators. You know, as long as you know how to. Okay, good. That's why I'm on here, so I can learn. But you know, if you know your deck, then you know, go ahead and play your special little brew, and you're gonna know what you're good against, what you're not, where you need to improve, and just stick with 1 or 2 decks instead of trying to get the new hotness that's out.
Yeah,
There's
and if you're not
special place in my heart for brews.
Fuck yes, that's like all I give a shit about. Brews and death in Texas. That's what my life has come to at this point.
I was just trying to brew yesterday and today. I was just trying to brew a dredge deck in Modern, thinking like I could do it better than the actual dredge decks that are out there. I'm like, no, I got this. This is the right angle.
No, you guys are all fucking morons. I'm a fucking genius. I have the galaxy brain over here, so I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna be like a beautiful mind, but with dredge and Modern.
And then Ross Merriman looks at you and said, "No, you fucking idiot. I got it."
I put the list together, and then I was like, well, let me go check what Dredge is actually doing in Modern. And I was like, yeah, that's better. That's so much better.
Everything they do is what I did, but better. Okay, cool. Sick. Awesome. Really put me in my place. Thank you, Internet.
Yeah, I'll stick to 8-rack.
I've been there way more times than I would care to admit.
And I felt that way this week. Matt, before, I think we were on the phone earlier today, and you said, oh, I saw this list online. And I was like, oh, is it the Bring to Light Scape Shift deck with the snow basics and stuff?
Yeah, it's the snow list. It's just so much better, yeah.
And what we talked about that fucking rug deck, I feel like that Bring to Light deck is exactly what we were thinking with the snow permanents, but just infinitely better in every single fucking way. So I'm like, oh, yep, I'm a moron. Everybody else is good, and I suck. So might as well just stick to my fucking guns.
I'd say I'm better at brewing in Commander. Like, deck building is one of my favorite aspect of Magic the Gathering, to bring like my own unique twist to a deck. And then also I like to do that with Standard because especially on Arena, it's way easier just to like.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, just fuck around, and since it's just Arena, it's not like it's such a money sink.
Hell yeah. And the cool thing about Arena is it almost forces you into brewing. Because you're working with it like a limited amount of resources, and you can't just go purchase these fucking cards.
Yeah, I was about to say, you just can't drop a couple $100 and buy what you need. You have to actually like work for it, right?
Yeah, you got to grind for it, which makes you play like a suboptimal list as far as like what your brain considers optimal, because you just don't have the mythic rare fucking wild card or wherever the fuck it is.
And the cool thing is, like, you get to go up against other brews, and then you see like 1 or 2 cards they're playing, and you're like, oh, dude, that's that interaction. I didn't even think about that. I'm definitely throwing that in the deck.
That was definitely a big thing when I first started playing Arena that blew my mind. I was like, I built a deck with just what I had, and I was like, this is going to be a fucking pile. There's no way I'm going to be able to win games with this. And then went in and realized, like you said, you're playing against other people who are in the same shoes as you. They have to fucking cobble together a deck with a pile of fucking trash. And you guys are all just throwing garbage at each other until somebody comes out with a little victory fucking screen. I'm like, oh, okay. This is why Magic Arena is fucking awesome. I get it.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Duels of the Planeswalker, but so much, easier to play against, actual opponents.
Yeah, it's like Duels of the Planeswalkers if Duels of the Planeswalkers had more than a brain cell.
Yeah, right.
It has at least like 3 brain cells. Well, you mentioned that you really like fucking deck building, especially in Commander. Do you have like a pet Commander deck that you play?
Well, I have a lot of Commander decks that I've built over the years. Like every time I get a precon every year, and I just juice it up, and then I have other decks that are kind of my pet decks. So I'm building a foiled out zombie list.
Yes,
Pretty dope.
Love that. Who's your commander for that?
It is Grimgrin.
Yes. So it's mono black.
The fuck is Grimgrin?
No, it's
or is it black blue?
Yeah,
What's this bitch
Grimgrin
called?
is
Grimgrin.
3
it's
blue
fucking
black.
Sweet. Yeah, he's blue black. Yep.
Zombie warrior enters the battlefield tapped, doesn't untap during your upkeep. Sacrifice another creature, untap it, put a 1/1 counter on it, and whenever he attacks, destroy creature defending player controls, then put a 1/1
There he is
counter
right
on
there,
him.
man.
Oh, this fucking
Grim.
dildo.
It's one word. Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Oh.
he's fucking sweet. Again, Innistrad, greatest set ever. Can't
Yeah,
beat
so I've been working on this for years and years, just trying to put together the foil. Because I remember I heard somebody mention something about like foiling out a commander deck, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm a
Fuck
sucker.
yeah.
I'm a sucker for tribal. I'm a sucker for like sacrifice and graveyard shenanigans. So I'm building a list, and right now I think I have like 94 out of the 100 cards.
Oh, so you're like just right around the corner of getting it finished.
Yeah, like there's Soul Ring. I think they're coming out with a new promo. I want to try and get my hands on that one.
Yeah, isn't it
The
like
Vegas.
like a Comic-Con promo or something like that?
Like the Vegas promo that they're
That's
doing.
what it is. Yeah, it's a GP Vegas promo. That's what it was. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the whole fucking shenanigans when they spoiled it on the Channel Fireball stream, it had the purple mana symbol on the back because somebody fucked it up. Oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah, and there's a couple cards that aren't even printed in foil, so I might have to get the proxy guy to help me out with some of those.
Yes, shout out to him. He'll be able to do whatever you want and do it better than Wizards will ever be able to do it. So like that's cool.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
that guy's awesome. We were able
He's
to
a
meet him
bad
in Vegas.
motherfucker.
So
Oh,
yeah, there's
yes.
things like Zombie Master and what's some of the other ones?
Yeah, I don't think
Kindred
they-
Discovery.
Black Market's not a foil card. I don't think they make
That's the
that.
first one you see where you're just like, oh, I know that one's not foil.
No, I'm telling you, I don't think they have a foiling for
No, they
that.
probably don't, but your brain is fucking ridiculous that you just immediately see that.
They probably don't have this either because this was old as fuck.
Yeah, Zombie Master. They don't have the foil. Kindred Discovery was in a pre-con, so there's no foil for that. But
They have weapon foil. Get on your game, boy. What you doing?
Get that whip. I used to have a whip foil. I think I opened up more boxes of Theros than any other set possibly conceived. I loved that fucking limited format, and I won so many fucking games of limited playing that format because that's all I did. I was no lifer because I think I was like a sophomore in college at that point. So like, what else am I gonna do? Study? No, that's fucking
absolutely.
Are there actual blue cards in here besides Cyclonic Rift? That makes sense. Is Rooftop Storm? Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
there's
Rooftop
very
Storm.
little blue cards. It's mostly black, but
That's
you know,
fine.
there's some of the lords and Kindred Discovery and Rooftop Storm. Oh man, that is
my-
gross when it's together.
Yeah, the fucking
Hey,
utility that you get with blue.
nice
Hey, I wonder
foil
where you got that
prismatic
foil
vista.
prismatic vista, man.
Oh yeah, so I was like, you know what? I don't need the blue black fetch land in there, and plus I don't want to spend the money to get a foil one. And I was like, you know what? I have a foil of Prismatic Vista. Throw that.
So you
bad.
have your blue black fetch land.
exactly.
Look at that. You're welcome.
You made
You
the
don't
list.
have. Oh, you do have some islands in there. Okay, I was like, you don't have any foil islands. Do you do double sleeve this shit or do you single sleeve it?
I just recently double sleeved it.
God damn, that seems so daunting to shuffle that. But I mean, it's definitely worth it because you definitely have some fucking cheddar in this. For sure.
Yeah, I haven't played a game with it in a while, so I've added some different cards here and there. So hopefully this Saturday, my co-host and I, or the last co-host I have left on If Lance Could Kill Hot Sauce, me and him are probably going to get some games going.
Well, it's funny too because Matt has played just about every single format conceivable, and the last format he got into was Commander. He fought the idea of Commander for like what 2 years
Longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, every time that I would try to bring it up to you, you'd be like, no, that's a fucking format for scrubs. I hate everything about that format. It's fucking disgusting. I was like, no, but seriously, try it out. It's great. And then you finally were like, okay, I'll build a deck. And you built the most degenerate pile of cards I've ever seen in my entire life. And I played against you once. I was like, no. You're doing it wrong. This is not how you're supposed to play Commander. And you're like, oh, fuck. And then a month later, you're like, okay, I think I get it now. And then you sent me a list and it made sense. And it was not a fucking brutal thing to play against. I was like, Matt, you're finally getting Commander. And might be, to this day, the proudest moment of my life.
Yeah, even like competitive EDH players were like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing?
Because you're an asshole. You're a fucking scumbag.
So a little backstory. I played the most degenerate Muldrotha stacks deck that you can imagine. Pretty much by turn 3, if you didn't kill me, everyone was locked out of the game but me. And I was killing them with like a 1-3 or like a 1-1.
That sounds horrible.
It's exactly what you think it is. It was a fucking miserable experience.
Yeah, in our play group for EDH, we kind of frown upon infinite combos. There's an infinite combo here or there, which are okay, but if it's like a game-winning infinite combo, we kind of have a house ban on that.
Fuck yeah.
I think when one of our buddies was playing Atraxa, we said that he was playing Super Friends Atraxa, and we're like, man, you can't ultimate this one Planeswalker because he had doubling season out. And as soon as he did the ultimate for the one's Planeswalker, it was like, this game over. So just don't ultimate that one's Planeswalker, but everything else is fine. So when something becomes a problem in our personal meta, we kind of come together and squash it.
And that's the beautiful thing about Commander. Like, they have these fucking rules and they have the ban and restriction shit. But what really matters is when you and your fucking buddy sit down, whatever rules you set, that's the law.
Yeah,
you
it
guys
doesn't
are the
fucking matter. Oh, well, you can't. The big thing, like, you can't have Planeswalkers. You could fucking say you can shove that up your ass and everyone could fucking have Planeswalkers as their commander.
I don't even get me started when people start bitching on Twitter about, oh, well, we need to be able to play our commanders because, in Montana on Thursday night at 8 o'clock at our LGS, blah, 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 there's new players and their favorite Planeswalker is, Nissa, and they really relate to her because they grew up on a farm. It's like, I don't give a fuck. You can play it however you want.
Yeah.
I love that. So and that was my big gripe with Oathbreaker. Like, people are trying to make this new format where, like, oh, it's singleton, but you can have a Planeswalker and you have a fucking special spell. And I'm like, okay. Or you could just have friends that are fucking cool and let you play your fucking Gideon tribal fucking commander deck. Like, nobody cares.
My God. I went super degenerate with that. I didn't even build the deck because I knew
the format's all about. It's for the fucking, it's for the spikes. Like, that's Commander for spikes.
I think Tiny Leaders is
You're thinking
more
about yourself.
Yeah, look in the mirror. I thought that was more spiky than the Commander thing is. The Tiny Leaders, or what the fuck is it called?
It was Tiny Wieners.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys. I have a confession, but my favorite format is Tiny Leaders.
I love
dude. Tiny Leaders. Tiny Leaders. Yeah,
I was super upset that shit did not get fucking more traction.
It could have gone on MTGO so easily. Yeah,
because there were people
Here's what I placed it as.
Like, wanted to go degenerate with that format and do like Leovold or some shit like that. They could, but there was so much room for growth in that format that you could just have fucking fun and play whatever deck you wanted to, and it was going to be a fucking blast. I played that format for probably a year after it was announced, even when it died, with my friends, and we didn't buy the cards. We literally just proxied fucking decks because we knew that format wasn't going to go anywhere, but we loved the concept.
Azuri was like the best deck, like just the elves, because it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it turns out drawing cards is okay.
Azuri doesn't draw you cards.
Azuri? Are we talking? Oh, not Azuri. Fucking, I'm thinking Edric. Edric was a sweet deck too.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, but also overrunning on turn like 3 is pretty cool, and killing them.
Elves is always going to be a thing if you can cast, especially if you limit a format to fucking infant-sized creatures.
Yeah,
elves are the king of the infants.
And what's the blue-white 4/2/2 that makes an angel?
Are you talking about Geist of St. Traft?
Geist, yeah.
Did you really not remember Geist of St. Traft?
I couldn't think of the name. It's been a long day, and I haven't had caffeine.
Your brain's slowly shutting down.
One of my favorite parts of Tiny Leaders was, for people who aren't into vintage or legacy, we're still able to like play with those cards.
I hate vintage and legacy fans.
They're the worst.
They're real fucking
just banish vintage and legacy and instate Tiny Leaders, and everything will be fine.
I mean, to be fair, Wizards is already trying to banish vintage and legacy, so I don't think anybody needs any help doing that. Those formats are already disappearing. Putting GPs on fucking holiday weekends, and like, there's never been a vintage GP ever.
There never will be.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. All 12 people who play vintage can
13
stay on Magic Online and just keep eating their Doritos. But I mean, Matt, you're finally coming around on the idea of Commander, and your pet Commander is Muldrotha. Have you even tried to brew another Commander since then?
Yeah, I made Ulashed.
That's right. We tried to test that one time. You proxied up like a couple cards, and we ran through it. It was super fun.
Yeah, tribal Zapperlings.
Yeah, tribal decks are just the fucking best, man. I have 2 Commander decks that are my bread and butter. I have Brea, and it's just tribal Thopters. Because anybody who does anything degenerate with Brea,
it's too easy.
They just disrespecting the card.
It's basically
Thopters, man. Reaper.
Yeah, but that's
the first thing it says on her card.
Combo,
she makes 2 Thopters.
It's literally 2-card Monty. There's so many fucking combos in that deck.
And I made an effort to put 0 combinations in my deck. The closest thing to a combination I have is
like Brea once to make an additional 2 Thopters.
No, I took that out actually. The closest thing to a combination is the Soul of Nuphyrexia making things indestructible and Nevinyrral's Disc. And that takes 6 mana every time I want to Wrath something. And I can only do it once per turn cycle. That's the closest thing to a combo I have in that deck.
It's pretty combo-y.
Yeah, but it's only 2 cards in the entire fucking 100-card list. So, I mean, I'll take it.
99.
I mean, there's 100 cards that include in the Commander. The Commander's still part of the 100-card deck, you cocksucker.
If you don't have tutors for the combo pieces, I feel like it's a hell of a lot better. But if that's like the only way you're going to win every game, then it's fucking bullshit and boring.
No, I have a house rule in my apartment, which I barely play Magic in my apartment, so it doesn't actually matter if it's a house rule or not. But I don't allow tutors that don't tutor for basic in decks. And if somebody has those in their decks, I'm happy to let them proxy it. I will give them a piece of paper and a Sharpie to make the proxy for any card that they want. They can even fucking make a dual land proxy. I don't give a shit. But I hate tutors in EDH, and I fucking hate Soul Ring more than anything in the entire goddamn world.
Soul Ring, the Planeswalker?
No, Soul Ring.
Oh, Soul Ring.
Yeah, I just have my teeth out, so everything I say is a lisp and it comes together.
It's a Soul Ring.
Soul Ring. Yeehaw! No, every time somebody comes over to play Commander at my place, if they have a Soul Ring in their deck, I look at them and I'm like, okay, here's the deal. That Soul Ring in your deck is a 1-mana command tower. It will add any color you want, but it's only 1 mana. Because Soul Ring just leads to fucking miserable games of Magic where it's so one-sided, and immediately when you play a Soul Ring, you're either the target and you're killed immediately, or you run away with the game and you just blow everybody out of the water. And I hate that card. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be part of Magic if it doesn't exist in that format. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ancestral Recall is a part of Magic, but do you think standard players give a fuck that Ancestral Recall exists? No.
It is a bummer when somebody plays like Soul Ring into like a Signet into something and they're like, go. And you're like, fuck, dude, that's cool. That's your turn 1. I might as well just shuffle up.
I'll play my island and then pass the turn. Cool. Fucking awesome. Love it.
Right.
I guess it depends on who you're playing with and what they're playing, and there's a whole host of factors.
Well, my thing is, when you sit down at a table playing Commander, the chances of everybody at the table being at the same level of skill is incredibly low. There are people who are going to be like me, who play Legacy, who play Vintage Online, who do all these things. And then when I sit down, the people that I'm playing Commander with typically are people who play maybe Modern every once in a while. They go to a Modern event like twice a year. They play Limited in LGS, and they play Kitchen Table with their friends. I don't want to fucking play something that's degenerate, and I don't want them to feel bad about anything that I'm playing. So if we level all of the fucking powerful cards, everybody just gets to play the deck that they built. It still gets to function properly, but there's no fucking shenanigans going on.
Our group, we usually have different levels of commanders. Like we have our top tier. My top tier is like my Mirren deck, which is just tuned. You know, there's nothing infinite about it.
Sick.
Yeah, there's nothing infinite about it, but it is just so finely tuned that it is disgusting.
I love that.
And then so we have like our tier 2, our tier 3. So, whenever we're playing with somebody, we know what type of deck we need to pull out. Like one of our buddies just recently started playing, and he got a precon, and we were kind of giving him cards like, hey, put this in there. So it's not like a tuned deck, so we try not to pull out like the big bad decks.
That's what I mean.
That's killer. See, that's a fucking awesome idea. If you guys have the resources to do that, that's great. I love that.
Right, yeah, I think it pays off. There's a article series, or at least a theory, that Jason Alt has, the EDH guru, where he talks about like the 75% deck. Where if I'm playing a 4-person game, I'm gonna win 1/4 of the time, is kind of what he says. Like,
yes.
I'm not going to just smash face all the time, but given the right draws, I can do some gross stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And Jason Alt is a fucking genius. If anybody doesn't listen to Brainstorm Brewery or anything that he produces, because he writes articles for EDH Rec and shit too, he's the fucking man. And he is secretly a genius disguised behind shitty jokes. Like, that's the best part about him.
One of my favorite Commander things is probably the Commander Versus series, because the way they have that set up, they make it interactive no matter what.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like,
I mean, because those
I
guys...
really believe that every Commander game should start with the fucking Monarch token in the middle.
Which, that's a house rule for you and me. When we sit down to play, the first person that deals damage to anybody gets the Monarch. I have a fucking Monarch token sitting in my Commander deck, and I don't have a single card that fucking gives the Monarch token in that deck.
No,
but when I'm sitting down, I talk to everybody. I'm like, okay, do you want to do this? And 9 times out of 10, everybody's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds super
brilliant.
fun. Yeah,
that's fucking awesome. And it always makes the game, one, go quicker. There's never a point in time where somebody's just sitting there and could attack, but doesn't because they're afraid of the repercussions. Because the Monarch gives them enough value in return that attack is worth it. So it speeds the game up. And
usually the person you attacked isn't retaliating. Someone else is chipping in at you to get the Monarch.
If they got the Monarch, chances are they have a board state that allows them to attack.
Yeah.
If they don't have the Monarch and you're attacking them, one, you're a fucking asshole, and two, they're obviously not the winner of that game. They're not in the number 1 spot. You shouldn't be going after them.
Yeah.
I made a Queen Marchesa deck just so I could incorporate the Monarch into our games, because I thought it was just a genius mechanic for Commander.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she herself is not overpowered at all.
No, she's solid.
She just introduces the Monarch to the game, and that's like all I really want out of the card.
Is that the Mardu one who makes vampires?
Yes, it is.
The black
she makes assassins, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So Queen Marchesa is 1 red, white, black. So she's 1 in Mardu colors. She's a 3/3 legendary creature, human assassin. She has death touch and haste, and whenever she enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent is the Monarch, put a 1/1 black assassin creature token with death touch and haste onto the battlefield. And for the people out there who don't know what the Monarch is, it says it's an emblem, so it's similar to what Planeswalkers give you when they ultimate, but it's an emblem that states, at your end step, draw a card.
Yeah, there's no fucking way to get rid of it.
No, it just exists. It's a part of the game now. And when somebody deals damage to a player, they become the Monarch. It has to be combat
damage.
When somebody does combat damage, they become the Monarch. And that
or unless they have another card that says you become the Monarch or some shit like that.
And that mechanic is so cool, and it's also so easy to comprehend and so fucking powerful. Like, it's powerful enough that in games of Legacy, a 4 mana creature that's a 2/2 is playable in Legacy Death and Taxes because it gives you the Monarch.
Is that the Palace Jailer?
Yes, it is Palace Jailer. That Palace Jailer is bae. I love Palace Jailer. Like, there's matchups in Legacy legitimately where I have a Palace Jailer in my deck, and I'm playing against somebody who has 4 creatures total in their deck, and they're all Snapcaster mages. So I would never actually get rid of them. And Palace Jailer and the Monarch specifically is so good, I don't need to take that card out in sideboarding, just because I don't care if it's a 2/2 that just gives me the Monarch. That's enough. That fucking mechanic is so insane.
It's your card advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I can draw cards against Miracles with a 4 mana 2/2. That's good enough to keep it in the deck. I'm A-O-fucking-K with that shit. And I, shout out to the tokens that we made. I fucking gave out Monarch tokens to everybody I played against who I got to play Palace Jailer with, because I, for some reason, can draw the best butterfly in the entire world within like seconds.
That might be.
So
what
every
the
time
fuck?
I play Palace Jailer, I
That's
pull
a
out token.
really weird fucking flex, bro. You're like, yeah, bro, I could draw the
That's
best
okay.
fucking butterflies.
Well, I mean, for the
It's like his
astute out there,
superpower.
so that
Yeah.
Monarch is a butterfly. So I drew a butterfly on the token.
Oh no, I get it. But
No,
you're just like,
get
bro,
it?
I draw the best butterflies and I draw them so quick.
Okay, I'm going to give you a piece of paper in 10 seconds, and you have to draw me a perfect butterfly. And if you can do it, then you're cooler than me. But if you can't, I'm the fucking master. I'm the champ of butterflies, you motherfucker.
Fucking butterfly master, dude. Yeah.
Changing my Twitter handle to champion of butterflies.
I hate you so much. I don't know why I talk to you.
Don't hate me because you ain't me.
Oh, you're a fucking dildo.
One of the decks I'm most proud of that I brewed for EDH is called Zur Where's My Cards? And it has Zur the Enchanter as the leader. I sent you a link in the show notes. And basically, I made this deck because I could not make Waste Not work in tiny leaders, and I was upset about it. And I was
That's a good
pissed.
reason.
So I was just diligent about trying to make it work, and I found Zur, and whenever I attack with Zur, brings out an enchantment, 3 or less, and 90% of the time I bring out
Conveniently
Waste
enough,
Not.
Waste Not can be that enchantment.
Exactly, and then I just start doing all these windfall / discard effects, and it's just amazing, and I get all this benefit out of it, and it's one of my most degenerate decks.
That's actually really cool because most of the time when you see Zur, it's the same thing. You go get there's like 3
Astral
things
Slide.
that you get. No, you don't get Astral Slide.
They're mostly like stack sticks, right?
Or yeah, stuff like that
it's
for sure.
that, and then you just draw your whole deck and like storm off and kill
Yeah,
them.
Zur is typically a fucking degenerate commander, but the way that you built it is infinitely more fun.
Yeah, whenever I used to play people on MTGO, they'd be like, "Oh, fuck this deck," and I'm like, "Dude, you don't even know it's in my deck. You just see Zur."
And he really is like, you attack twice and the game's basically over. Because the first one, it gives him like hexproof or shroud or what, hexproof, and then you just go get. Why the fuck can I not think of that? It's black. Necropotence, Jesus Christ.
I was just saying, why do you not remember Necropotence? It's one of the most powerful cards ever.
You go get Necropotence and then you just draw your deck and kill them.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Zur is just always a bummer. And like you said, when you sit down and play somebody on Magic Online, you're not sitting at a table so you don't know the context. And you just see their commander and you just assume that they're a fucking asshole. Depending on what their commander is.
Absolutely. If I see somebody on MTGO and they're playing what's his name? The Red God. That does damage.
Warpros.
Yeah, I'm going for this guy, number 1. I don't care about anybody else. I just want this guy to die first.
Yeah, I love that. And that's why my pet commander deck is Krufix the God. So the blue-green God. And all he is just making mana. His deck was birthed from me making a Azuri commander deck online. And then everybody saw that Azuri was my commander. And everybody immediately fucking killed me. I'm like, that's not the point of my commander deck. I just want elves that just like make a bunch of mana. The whole entire point of the deck is to cast X spells and mill your opponent out or mill yourself out with Laboratory Maniac. That's all I want to do. And everybody just saw my commander, immediately thought I was up to some bullshit and killed me before I could do anything. So I changed it to Krufix, and now that deck is one of my favorite decks that I own.
You play that sucker a lot.
I love that deck. And another one online that I have is fucking Admiral Beckett Brass. She, if anybody remembers her, she is the pirate.
Pirate Lord, yeah.
Yeah, she's the Pirate Lord, and she is the fucking best. And I only have that deck online. I don't have it in paper because I didn't want to fucking cobble it together because I'm a fucking lazy bastard. But
sounds about right.
When I have that deck online, and every time I go and play it, in the chat, I only fucking speak in pirate quotes.
That's great. That's probably the best part of that.
So like I immediately jump in and I say, "Yar mateys," and everybody's immediately like, "This fucking guy is a piece of shit."
Fuck yeah. Cosplaying on MTGO.
The whole deck is about stealing other people's shit. So I'm just like, I'm gonna commandeer your booty. Just like take their fucking best creature or something.
You need to find the gif of, what is it, Captain Phillips, where the dude says, "I'm the captain now."
Did you just say
GIF, whatever.
It's I've been troubled by this debate my entire life. I pronounce it GIF, but
Yeah,
apparently
it's GIF. That's correct.
but apparently I forget what I heard, but like the proper actual way is GIF. But I'm like, fuck that.
No. That's not how the peanut butter spelled.
Whatever, you fucking cunts. You know what I'm talking about. You need to find that clip and just post it about every 30 seconds.
If you could put GIFs in the Magic Online chat, I would post that 100%. But unfortunately,
can you not
Magic
do that?
Online has, again, 3 brain cells, and it can't quite computate that GIF in the chat yet.
That's a bummer.
I mean, it's better than the fucking cat on fucking Magic Arena.
Causing everybody to lag out and shit.
Oh, Matt, you didn't hear about this because you don't actually know anything about Magic.
I read a little bit, like, you'll get fucking temporary suspension if you're clicking the cat.
No, well, here's the thing. Okay, this fucking entire episode has gone on so many fucking tangents. I love it. But Magic Arena made an update, and instead of the brains behind the fucking entire outfit, making the game, more user-friendly, fixing all the bugs, putting in new formats, they're like, oh, you know what these people want? More things to spend money on. So they put in a bunch of shit, and they put in like a fucking tier for like some kind of experience points, and you can buy extra shit. And they put a cat on the side that during the game you can click on, and it fucking spazzes out in different colors. So if you fucking just jam that button on the cat during your opponent's turn, it like crashes their client.
That's fucking great.
No, it's legitimately will give somebody epilepsy. That's how fucking extreme this cat is. It is a goddamn mess.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's not.
That's like in real life, just getting in someone's head and then flipping out and flipping the table.
Next time I go play a Magic event, if I'm going to play in the next fucking Legacy event at Nice Guys, or I'm going to go to Syracuse and play that Legacy Open, I'm just going to bring a cat with me, and I'm going to sit it on the table next to me, and as I'm playing my fucking deck, when my opponent's turn, I'm just going to punch this cat in the face repetitively.
Light its tail on fire.
While my opponent's taking his turn.
Go.
He's going to be like, land, this. I mean, he's like, land. I'm going to go Scouting Tarn, fetch, go get a volcanic island, tap Delver. And the entire time, I'm just going to be punching this cat in the face. And the cat's going to be crying and bleeding all over the place. And I'm just like, oh, sorry, I thought this was Magic Arena.
That cat would fuck you up. You wouldn't stand a chance against a cat. That cat would eviscerate you.
I don't really think they're ever going to put any like old school formats into Magic Arena.
Oh no, they're never going to.
They came out with that, like they said they're going to do the historic format or whatever, which is just
a goddamn joke.
Yeah, I guess you're not going to be able to play that format competitively. So when things rotate, it's kind of going to be its own non-rotating format, I'm guessing.
Sure, but for now, that format is just the standard that everybody hates, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a small card pool that it's just going to be like standard decks plus some.
It's infinite to fairy, but they've already put some cards in previous sets on Magic Arena in like the limited release beta and then the alpha. So those cards have already been proven to work on the client. I don't get why they just didn't put them on there for that format specifically.
But I mean, like Arena's just for standard, just to get people hooked to the game. It's more friendly than the previous iterations of like duels for streamers.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
That's basically what it is. So whenever people, I see a lot of people complain online on Twitter about it, and I'm just like, this is exactly what it is. You guys had expectations that it was going to be like MTGO plus animations, and that's not what it's meant to be.
No, never. Modern, and then previous formats. I never imagined they were going to put Legacy on that motherfucker, but Modern specifically has so many goddamn cards that it would take a staff of 100 programmers at least like 6 months to program all those cards into it. And then after they release that, the bugs that they would have to fix from all the dumb fucking interactions that people would find, it would take another 6 months. So it would be a year before that's even functional. Why would they put that into Magic Arena when none of those cards can be purchased in paper? So it's actually not making Wizards any money. Like it's useless.
And that's what MTGO is for. You know, if you want to play that older stuff, just go sign up for MTGO and deal with its very archaic styling and look.
Yeah, I mean,
think
and the
they'll
people
ever
who
just
have been playing
revamp
MTGO and
MTGO?
playing those formats, they get it. Like, and they're there for it, and they've been playing it for a while. And if you really want to get a fucking game of Legacy in, and you just started MTGO right now, you're gonna tolerate that because you want to play those formats. You've been playing Magic long enough that you want to play duels, and you want to play all these fucked up cards. And I can't even tell you how many fucking games playing Legacy Online that I've ran into Ren and 6. All these fucking people I play Ren and 6, every time they cast that card, I'm like, your dumbass spent $100 on that. Fucking Christ, that is a digital copy of a card,
Yeah,
and you spent
zeros.
100 real dollars on that fucking motherfucker.
Ren and 6 is good because it pings your shit off and then says, go fuck yourself to your mana denial strategy.
You think that, but Ren and 6 is so ubiquitous in Legacy right now that as a Death and Taxes player, you cannot bring yourself to adding cards to your deck that will make you liable to losing to that card. So I side out essentially all of my non-enter the battlefield or crucial X1s for that matchup. Like Phyrexian Evoker, you'd think, oh, great card in that matchup.
Terrible.
No, but it's fucking abysmal because they play Lightning Bolt and they play fucking all of the cards that remove that card. I side out all that shit. You know what's really good against Ren and 6? Something with 2 toughness. Like that card doesn't do anything.
Yeah, get to fetch land back or wasteland or something.
Yeah, just play Rest in Peace instead. Because you know what Rest in Peace does to Ren and 6? Makes it trivially fucking.
Yeah.
They plus it and it does nothing, and you're just like, okay, I'm going on with my life. Congratulations, your Ren and 6 is at 17 loyalty and it still does nothing. Awesome. Very proud of you.
Well, eventually they technically could kill you with it.
How?
They can ping you.
Like, they're better off playing their fucking True Name Nemesis and me dying to that. I'm more worried about True Name Nemesis than I am worried about Ren and 6 in my current Legacy Death and Taxes build, because I get it. Ren and 6 is good. Make your deck less good against Ren and 6, or less bad against Ren and 6, and you don't have to worry about it. Look at that. I fixed the meta. I fixed Legacy. I'm the Mother Teresa of Legacy Death and Taxes. I'm going to change my Twitter profile to that now.
No, you're the fucking butterfly king or whatever the fuck you said.
What was that? I don't even remember what I said before.
Champion of butterflies.
Champion of butterflies.
Oh, yeah, King of the Butterflies, Mother Teresa of Death and Taxes.
Jesus Christ.
Can I be the queen of the butterflies, guys?
No, you're the fucking champion of butterflies.
Oh, the champion of butterflies. I like that one a lot.
That's what
Can
you
I
said.
be the
you
monarch
fucking
of butterflies? I just want to draw a card. That's all I want.
Christ.
So do you guys have a lot of a big collection on MTGO?
I do not.
What's your collection on Magic Online, bud?
I think I have a Sahili Ray. That's probably Sahili Rai.
One single copy of
I'm serious. That's probably about it.
Congrats, man. I'm very
Thanks, bro. That and whatever they give you whenever you sign up.
Oh, so garbage commons.
Yeah, that's the extent of my collection on Magic Online.
Magic Online is because I have pet decks in a lot of formats, and all of the cards that I use for those pet decks I have on Magic Online. There's other decks that I play when I'm not feeling those pet decks, and I will just like buy or sell some cards and buy cards with that using whatever fucking mess of an economy Magic Online gives me. I have every single spirit that you could possibly play in Modern on Magic Online. And I have every single human or Legacy Death and Taxes staple that you could possibly play in Legacy. And then I have my commander decks. Everything else is constantly. Like, I played Blue Moon in Modern, which is just a blue-red control deck that capitalizes on people having greedy mana bases with Blood Moon. I have that online currently, and I think that's all in one piece. But the chances of me selling that are pretty fucking high because it's a dead deck now.
Yeah, it's not that great anymore because people were like, hey, you know it's really good?
Basics.
Fucking basics, yeah.
Yeah, basics are really good.
I used to be pretty big into MTGO. It was a great place to like test your deck or test a brew and figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Hell yeah.
So I used to draft on there a lot, played Commander on there a lot. I ended up selling off my account to help pay for my wife's, she had like a hand surgery, and I was out of work at the time, so I sold it off. And then I slowly started building it back up after a couple years. And there just came a point where I wasn't really playing it all that much, and I realized there was like $1,000 just sitting on there not doing anything.
Yeah. It's crazy how much digital pieces of cardboard are fucking worth.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, and so I ended up just selling it all and bought guns with the money. So
there you go. I mean, that's a real investment.
Yeah, diversify your bonds.
Yo, you gotta diversify your bonds. Wu-Tang Financial.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I love it.
I don't really mind. I'm like not like a total gun nut, Me and Hot Sauce talk about how we're like, pro gun control, but we're also into guns, which is a very weird stance for someone to have.
So we got a game. Have you heard of our game?
I have heard of your.
Oh no, have you?
I've listened to almost all of your episodes, so I'm familiar with some of your games.
Oh, so we have 2 games. One
Do you
of them
enjoy
is a
how
special
Tyler
occasion
tried to make
game,
me
but I
fucking
don't
lose
think
and
the
he
special
can't?
occasion game is particularly friendly to anybody besides Matt. Because
How the fuck is it friendly towards me? It's geared to make me fucking lose, you dumb.
well, here's the
twit.
thing: it has to be geared to make you lose because you have some special learning disability where you can only fucking learn magic cards.
I just remember.
You can't learn
Stupid-
normal things like a human being. Like you can't learn how to fucking use a crosswalk. You can't learn
hyperlinks.
like normal human conversation. You just have to learn fucking magic cards the entire time. So I had to craft a game specifically for people with learning disabilities like you.
I
But
still
for
didn't
normal
do-
people without learning disabilities, I came up with another game, and that game is called Accumulated Knowledge. So
I actually
any returning
Did good in that too, you
listeners-
fuck.
So, so we have our game. Accumulated Knowledge is the one that we typically play. We're not gonna put Cory through the special edition game of Knowledge Pool because that is specifically made so Matt looks like a fucking asshole because it's impossible to make him look like an asshole during any other game. So
goddamn
Accumulated Knowledge, for those of you out there who have not seen this game before or heard this game before, I go on to Scryfall, hit the random card button, and whatever card pops up, I say the card name. Now, Cory is going to have to give me the mana cost of the card because he is a rookie in the game of Accumulated Knowledge. I'm going to give him 3 hints so he can use them throughout any of the 5 cards. But once the 3 hints are gone, he has to just go raw the rest of the cards.
This is the only part of the podcast I was nervous about because
You knew that you were gonna have to be put through it, though, right?
Yeah, I can't remember card names worth of shit. So let's have some fun.
Let's hope Scryfall is very kind to you. So Matt, are we just gonna go back and forth?
Yeah, you can go first, and then
Okay,
I'll
cool.
go. And
So Cory, in order to win Accumulated Knowledge, you have to get 3 out of the 5 cards. I will give you your first one now. It is okay. I'm actually going to skip that one because I can't pronounce the name.
Perfect.
Yep. That's the beautiful thing about a podcast. I can choose what I give and I can choose what I don't.
Just skip to anything above Gate Crash and we'll be good.
Okay, well this one isn't quite above Gate Crash, but it's the next one that I could pronounce. So it is Thraben Heretic.
Thraben Heretic.
And I'm going to give you, because I like you, we're going to give you a hint. It is from Dark Ascension. So just slightly before you started playing Magic.
Okay, I think Dark Ascension was still in Standard when I started playing, so
It was for sure.
I know this one. Does he get a phone call?
You know what? I will give him 3 hints and also a phone a friend. And the phone a friend will most likely be from Matt, considering he probably will not call somebody else.
I know this one. So if you wanna tag me in, I know it. Or if you wanna go for it.
I would love more thing in the world for Matt to be confused and totally fuck up the card on a phone a friend.
I mean,
Lose you a point and make him look like an asshole.
that could
Perfect.
happen.
so I'm gonna guess that it's a human.
You nailed that.
Pretty sure it's actually
It's a
2
human
creature
wizard.
types. Yeah.
It's a human what?
It's a human wizard.
Human wizard. All right. So we got 3 colors, either black, white, or blue.
One of those colors is correct.
I'm gonna lean towards the blue because of the wizard.
Ooh,
Oh no,
that's
you're
pretty
fucking up.
presumptuous of you.
Okay. So let's do 2 and a white.
2 and a white. Oh, you were so close.
It's
Damn
one
it.
in a white, isn't it?
It is one in a white. Matt,
Yeah.
do you know the card? Fucking go ahead and go for
It's
it.
a 2/2. It sacks and it exiles something. I think it's a human wizard. It's one white 2/2. Tap, exile something, or tap, sack itself, exile something. And all the Thrabins are white, just as a heads up.
Well,
Gotcha.
hopefully that doesn't apply for the rest of the game. Cory, do you remember previously when we were talking about Matt's learning disability?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, well, it's showing its fucking form right now because it is 100% a 1 and a white. It is a 2/2 creature, human wizard, and it has tap, exile target creature card from a graveyard.
From a graveyard.
Yeah.
I should have known that
Which
from.
was
It's the
relevant
Ascension, right? Dark
in
Ascension.
that limited format.
It's Dark Ascension, I think, right? Because that was
Mhm.
that was the Undying and was it Undying? Yeah, because they
Undying
came
was
back.
in that format, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
and, I mean,
basically, magic cards are his like jelly beans in a jar. Like
yeah.
he's not really good at anything else, but fuck, he'll tell you how many toothpicks are spilled on the ground.
oh yeah, he's good at actual zero other things besides naming garbage uncommons from random formats like Dark Ascension. Like nobody even draft Dark Ascension because like that format was so awful.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Like it's hard to believe that a format like Innistrad, like triple Innistrad existed and everybody was so excited about it. It was one of the best draft formats of all time. And then immediately after, they fucking buried it with other formats. Like that's such a bummer.
Oh
Well-
fuck, this one's easy. I'll give this one to you though, because it's easy, but it's not easy.
What does that
Okay.
even mean?
Shut the fuck up. No one's talking to you. Okay, you ready, Cory?
I'm ready.
So for your second card, it is Riku of Two Reflections.
Oh, that's a commander card.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
the
the commander
commander dude. I can see the art in my head. Fuck, it's blue, red, and I'm blanking if there's a third color in there.
Oh, you're definitely on the right path.
Is it 3 colors?
It is definitely 3 colors.
It's 3 colors, yeah.
Okay, blue, red. I want to say green. Blue, red, green. He has some obnoxious ability about like copying spells or drawing cards.
Fuck yeah.
So close. I'll say like 2 red, blue, green, and the power and toughness aren't like really what's important on that card.
No,
It's
not
the-
even close.
No,
It's-
the only
it's
thing
the
you have to give me
abilities.
is the converted mana cost.
Yeah, the converted mana cost is
So converted mana cost, 5 mana.
And then broken down.
it's
broken
you said
down.
2 blue, red, green, right?
Yeah,
Is that your final answer?
that's final answer.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Woo!
Yeah, you 100% nailed it.
I figured you'd get that one if you play Commander.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So-
That card is so fucking nuts. God damn, that card is one of those ones that we talked about before where if I see it on Magic Online, I'm immediately killing that person.
Absolutely.
It does some
Yeah,
shit.
fuck that card.
So it's as you said, 5 mana, Rug, Tamur. Legendary creature, human wizard is a 2/2. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may pay a blue and a red. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. And then in another fucking line of text, it's whenever
It needs
another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay green and a blue. If you do, put a token that's a copy of that creature onto the battlefield. Not exiled, just you
No,
get a
just
fucking
exists.
token. Yeah.
This exists.
That's not broken.
Yeah, that card is fucking. God damn it. Well, I mean, I'm glad that you got that one because that card's an obscure one for sure.
I'm happy I got one.
Well, I have a strong feeling you're gonna get 2 because the one that I just fucking clicked upon, the Scryfall gods are smiling very proud on you tonight. So the next card that you got is Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Oh,
Oh man, I don't know.
know
He's
if
part of
you've
the
heard this card
Gatewatch,
before.
right?
What's that?
He's part of the Gatewatch, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Jace, he's a minor character in the storyline. I think he was a pirate once. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
where
He
are
had
all these fucking softballs when I'm playing this game?
I think he had a corset on at one time. In one of
to
the
be
books,
fair-
he almost fucked Liliana.
You know, if this was me doing this, the lead would be like, okay, how many different Jaces are there throughout? And I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, to be fair, on the random button that I clicked, the one that came up was like the mythic edition one. So that's at least the rarest Jace the Mind Sculptor.
So I hit the jackpot. 2 blue, has 4 abilities, and it's now legal and modern, and nobody gives a shit really.
Yeah, because he's fucking useless. And
Yeah.
you fucking nailed it. Woo! So for anybody out there who has never seen Jace the Mind Sculptor, one, I recommend looking up what Magic the Gathering is. After that, you can listen to this. It is a 2 blue Planeswalker with 3 starting loyalty.
Yeah, the +2 is you can look at the top card
Yeah, it's
of
basic.
the library, put it top or bottom.
Yeah,
The
and
zero
the zero
ability is
the zero
Brainstorm.
ability is Brainstorm. So you draw 3 cards, and then you put 2 cards from your hand onto the top of your library in any order.
And has anybody used any of the other abilities ever? I mean, I couldn't
used
even
the
name
minus.
I
I've
have
used the
had
-1 to bounce or Snapcaster.
use the minus ability to bounce Batterskull Germ tokens.
Gotcha.
That feels really bad.
Yeah,
So the
that's-
minus ability is legitimately unsummon. So it's -1 return target creature to its owner's hand. And the -12 might as well just fucking say win the game. -12 is exile all cards from target player's library. Then that player shuffles their hand into their library. So
That's
if
right.
they have 5 cards in hand, they have 5 cards in their library and 0, and they lose the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
As if they haven't lost the game already at that point.
I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone lose the game there. Or like win after getting Jace ultimated.
I've had games in Legacy where my opponent has just aggressively +2'd him and got to that point. But even then, I don't know if I've seen the ultimate win them the game. I think they just have not
Died.
known how Legacy works. That's the closest thing. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody successfully -12 Jace and win the game because the game just ends 1,000 turns.
Yeah, because usually you brainstorm like 4 times and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, fuck.
Well, if you ever play Jason Don't Brainstorm, the only reason why you do that is to avoid a lightning bolt or because you're already winning the fucking game at that point. So,
Okay, so that one was a spirit token. I'm not giving you that one.
I think he would get spirit at 0 mana cost.
This is Divine Reckoning.
Is this a rare?
Divine Reckoning is the Convoke board wipe for non-tokens, maybe?
Ooh.
I like the
I like the
Maybe?
uncertainty of it. That's the best part.
I just ordered that card. I don't know if it was Divine Reckoning, but yeah, it was the Convoke board wipe for non-tokens. It was like triple white, and it was costly. Triple white and 5 or double white and 6. Fuck.
That's the best part about this game.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with the gut, and I'll do triple white and 4.
Is that your
and a
final answer?
And it's a sorcery, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and say on that
Oh.
one. I don't actually know what card you're talking about. This one is 2 mana, white. Each player chooses a creature he or she controls, destroy the rest, and then
That's
it
the board
flashes
wipe.
back for 7.
That's garbage.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Fuck.
I don't think I would have gotten that one. I've seen that card played in Commander games, but I would have not remembered that one.
I was thinking of Hour of Reckoning, which is 4
Oh,
colorless,
yes.
triple white.
That is exactly what you were thinking of. Fuck me.
So I guessed the card right, just the wrong name. So perfect.
You know what? That's what this game's all about.
Yeah.
I like for normal people like you and me, we're just flying by the fucking skin of our teeth. We're just barely making it through.
Yeah, like I've already won since I've gotten 2 of them. So
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, I mean,
I genuinely get a little bit upset if I don't get all 5 right.
yeah, because you just sit there and instead of watching porn like a normal human being, you just sit on Scryfall and just search random cards.
I'd
And
say
every time you
random,
see a card that you know, you spit on your hand and go to town.
Yeah. You fucking caught me.
Well, Cory, this is for all the marbles, man.
This is for all the fucking marbles.
And because this is your first time, I want to remind you that you have all of your hints, but I don't even think you'll need them for this one.
is it
'cause
Crypt Incursion?
This was 100% a card that you played during this card's printing.
Perfect.
It is House Guildmage.
House Guildmate.
And just because of your origin story that you told us earlier, I am going to be genuinely fucking disappointed if you don't get this one.
House.
Again, another human wizard.
Give
He
me
definitely
the
did. He didn't
set.
play during this. This is from Ravnica Allegiance, right?
Guilds of Ravnica.
House Guildmage?
House Guildmage, yes.
Give me the set.
It is from Guilds of Ravnica. So think of the guilds that were in Guilds of Ravnica and the houses that could possibly in those guilds. All the Borthos out there are fucking pulling their hair out of their goddamn heads
Right. Okay, so
Yeah, I was right. This is in Guilds of Ravnica.
so according to the names of the guilds, it's going to be Demir because it's House Demir.
That's again very presumptuous of you.
Usually the guild mages are like 2/2s. I think most of them are just 2 converted mana costs, so I'm going to go ahead and say blue-black.
Is that your...
Yeah, fuck all the rest of the hints. Blue-black.
Yep, you nailed it. 100%. Boom. Bing, 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 bing. We got a winner, baby. Yeah, House Guildmage is 1,000% 1 blue and 1 black. He is a 2/2, exactly like you said. He is a creature human wizard. And for 1 and a blue and tap, target creature does not untap during its controller's untap step. And for 2 and a black, tap, you surveil 2.
Ah, yeah.
The classic
not
surveil mechanic that everybody loves.
Used one of your hints and did not use 2 hints or your phone call.
Yeah, that's actually really impressive. That's probably better than I would have done for a lot.
That's
Actually,
1,000%.
yeah, that's probably better than I would have done.
There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Whoa. What are you trying to say?
You suck at this game.
Oh, ouch. Except for I've only lost, once? Not even?
No, you've lost more than that.
I don't believe that. Somebody go back and review the tape.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit enough.
So
Yeah,
do
I
I
don't
get like
care
a
about that
trophy or a special token or?
Well, as far as prizes go, it's more of a pride.
Gotcha.
Lee would
So
be
I can-
fucking poor.
It's
I can
the
at
non-
least hang it
it's a-
over Tyler, right?
Yes, you can. You've won more times than he has.
Whoa. Fuck off, dude. First of all.
My
Second of
my
all,
percentage is better than
Yeah.
yours.
Your percentage is better than mine, and I've only lost
That's right.
once,
Yeah,
I
your
think.
percentage is better than everybody. Okay, everybody, considering that we are quitting on episode 11, Cory has retired the champ of all Fetch and Shot games.
He would
He
be
is
the
the
fucking
eternal
champ.
winner.
I just got to retire on the top. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, that
So-
sounds about right. I would do the same thing. So, as customary for the winner of any of our games, Cory, the shout out for the week.
I get the shout out. You guys already gave Proxy Guy a shout out. We already talked about Jason Alt.
But he hasn't been our shout out because we'll do shout outs and shout outs just randomly through the show, just plug in people. So
Yeah, because
If we
turns
didn't-
out we like magic, so we like people who do things in magic. Weird.
Okay, so this I'm not sure if they have a Twitter page, but I'm gonna go ahead and shout out MTG Familiar, which is an app that is on. I'm not sure if it's on the Apple Store, but it's on the Google Play Store. It is the premier app that I use to find cards. When I need to fill out spots in a deck, you can. You know how Gatherer just fucking sucks and it shows you all this crap that you don't need?
Yeah, because why
And-
would wizards make something that's, worthwhile?
Yeah, exactly. And and then you just try and look for something and you cry. And so MTG Familiar, it's an awesome app. It's how I build most of my decks. You can easily find the price. It links the price to TCG Player. And it's just an amazing app. So if they happen to be on Twitter, check them out. If not, check them out on the Google Play Store,
would say-
MTG Familiar.
I've definitely seen people link to this app specifically, and I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I clicked on it, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, shit. This is incredibly useful.
I spend hours just, since I only started playing during Gate Crash, there's plenty of cards I have no idea what the fuck they are. So I'll
Yeah,
spend
sure.
hours as I'm brewing just peering through this, taking screenshots so I can remind myself later. And I think there's even like a little wish list built in, a life counting thing, dice rolling, coin flipping.
Yeah,
all
they
that
got
good
a
stuff.
lot of shit in that fucking app that is incredibly useful to every
Sounds
Magic
fucking
player
useful.
from kitchen table level to competitive level.
And it's free. So Fuck yeah. I was just going to say, I think they might have like, I don't know if they have a Patreon, but they have like a beta community so you can help test the next iteration of it. And yeah, check them out. Support them. They're awesome people.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Shout out to MTG Familiar. Anybody who's producing something like that is anything better than Gatherer deserves a fucking shout out.
Unless you have an Apple product, which apparently they're not on there.
Yeah, you can't get it on the Apple.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
so strange
just
to me.
looking.
But I mean, go check it out. Well, I mean, sorry to steal the thunder from you, Cory, but we planned on you losing to this. So we also plan to shout out.
Well, please go ahead.
So our shout out was actually another MTG podcast, and they're pretty small. Not too many people listen to them. It's just a couple guys, talking about Magic. And it's, they have good chemistry. They really get each other. They're really funny. They're quirky. And it's actually called Limited Resources. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them. They're great. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Yeah,
It's actually called If Lands Could Kill. Those Limited Resources guys, fuck them. If Lands Could Kill, fucking incredible podcast. I don't know any of the people who are on it. I've never met any of them. I'm sure they're all total fucking scum.
They
look
contribute
like
nothing to the community. And
so they're very familiar with us also contributing nothing to anything.
And I would never have LSV on my podcast. Fuck that guy.
I love it. Yes. So, Cory, where can they find any of this fucking If Lands Could Kill content if you would know anybody on this podcast?
If I were, I would direct you to Twitter, where you can find that podcast at If Lands Could Kill with 1 L, because we have too many fucking letters in our name. And you can find me specifically. It's knife_city. Yep. I know you guys are a little old too, because you put the underscore in your name. Apparently that's not like a popular thing to do anymore.
Oh, but no, we're old begrudging people standing at our fucking doorsteps yelling, "Get off my lawn, kid."
Yeah, this is for those younger kids. This is what we used to do in the AOL Instant Messenger days.
Looks like.
Yeah, we use.
I have
underscore
1,000 frisbees.
And my co-host can be found at Tay Hot Sauce, TEH Hot Sauce on Twitter. And, life is kind of happening for both of us, so we're not really able to record some episodes, but I put out a Twitter vote and got back that people want mini-sodes. So I recently put out just a little quick mini-sode of me opening a box of Modern Horizons, and I talked a little bit about Oathbreaker. And I've been trying to stream on MTG Arena as much as possible, but I have no schedule for that. It's whenever I'm able to get on there, and
it's just on the fly.
Yeah, I just have fun and fuck around.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say anytime you want to hop on with us, you're more than welcome.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, this is super
and
fun.
I listened to that mini-sode that you guys did, and it was fucking awesome. Just the fact that you were just like ripping open packs, and it was like, oh, this is a Renin 6. I guess this is good.
Oh, yeah. For my second box opening, I opened up a foil Renin 6, and I'm like, oh, yeah, not that this is worth much money.
Yeah,
and
you were so nonchalant about it, and I was listening, and it was after the fact, and I had known Renin 6 was fucking me up in Legacy for so long, and you open up a foil one, I was like, you cunt! God damn it! Fucking Christ! Another Renins in the world! Fuck!
And then I look it up a couple days later, and I'm like, "Oh, this is worth money." So I immediately sold it, thinking that it might go down or the hype might go away. No, it's like doubled in price.
The ceiling does not exist on that card, apparently.
Yeah, the foil is like $400 now. I sold it for like $210. So whatever.
Well, if you remember when Dak Faden came out in Conspiracy, those foils were insane. Oh, yeah. It's the same thing.
Absolutely.
Well, currently, the most expensive card in Modern Jund is Renin. So that's where that card is sitting at right now.
I have a non-foil copy that I'm holding on to, and I'm just waiting until the price goes higher, and then I'll sell it off. So
I would say that card probably lands around 120 and then plateau.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, if Lands Could Kill, I would say at least in the top 2 podcasts, as far as I'm concerned, in regards to Magic the Gathering. The number one, I mean, it's up in the air. I don't really know which one it could possibly be. There's a couple people in consideration.
The LSB fan cast, I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. The LSB masturbatory cast. And then
Fucking masturbatory.
The drive to work masturbatory. Those
Hey
are my-
guys, this is Morrow, and this is my second Drive to Work podcast, where I want to talk about Chronicle.
Your fucking Morrow impression is so perfect.
Fucking
God damn
spot
it.
on.
You fucking nailed it.
You know, I never listened to his Drive to Work podcast, and just like a month or two ago, I started listening to it. I was like, this is actually fucking amazing.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Morrow, fucking man.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. Anytime you guys want me on, dude, I've had a blast, and it would be a pleasure to come on whenever you need me.
No, thank you for coming on. And when you motherfuckers decide to get your shit together and fucking start podcasting again, we were expecting the invite.
Absolutely.
Fuck yes. Awesome, man. Well, I guess this is the part where we do our sign-offs.
Yeah, hey, you want to plug us this week, you fuck?
Oh yeah, fuck, we forgot to fucking plug ourselves last week. Oh, that's kids, don't drink alcohol. It kills your brain cells. It makes you a fucking moron, and it makes you really bad at everything you do. So
Except
for anybody
dancing.
out there who has made it this far and wants to follow us on Twitter, you can see us at @fetch_shock. Anybody who wants to see me on Twitter, Tyler, you can see me at @basiclandbin. And for Matt, you can find him at @itsbop. And for Cory, your Twitter, just one more time, go for it.
Knife_city.
Perfect. So all these people that you just listened to for the last, hour and 45 minutes, go fucking follow them, asshole. What are you fucking doing?
Don't be a dildo.
Yeah, don't be a fucking dildo, exactly.
Yeah, stop staring at Scryfall and spitting on your dick.
Yeah.
I mean, after you're done sitting on Scryfall and spinning your dick, follow
Then
us,
go
because I
follow
want you to finish your business.
I mean,
Well,
they can
also-
multitask.
Wipe your
Listen,
hand off, too. Come on
Remember
now.
that fucking token I sent you with the crusty sock?
Oh, fuck yeah. That thing's amazing.
They need that fucking deposit before they fucking follow us.
Absolutely.
All right, nerds, we will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.